didn't see you there. Just teaching my cub about the circle of life. All right, welcome to another episode of LBEB Kitchen. I'm your host, me. Today we're going to be making a pretty special recipe in my book. This was a recipe that my great-great-grandma brought back from Africa in one of her cooking books. They were the first missionaries in Burundi, so you can look that up if you don't believe me. So this is a breakfast casserole, super simple to make. I'm actually going to eat it for dinner tonight because I'm that cool. Simple ingredients, but this is a recipe that I've been eating for about 22 years. My mom would make it on Easter, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, and it would be gone in just a couple of minutes. So she would usually quadruple the recipe for my brothers and I, but it's just never enough. So let's check it out and let's make it. You're going to need pepper, dry mustard, paprika, sage if you have it. If you don't have to use it, but I think it makes it better. 6 eggs, we're going to beat those into a pulp. 1 pound of sausage. I'm going to use maple Jimmy Dean sausage because it's just amazing. Salt. 3/4 of a cup of cheese. I'm using closer to a cup because I'm cheesy. And you're going to get 5 pieces of bread that's not fresh bread. So you want it a little bit hard but not moldy, obviously. We're going to cut that into little squares. So the first thing I'm going to do is brown this sausage. I'm not going to film that because I hope you know how to put stuff in a pan and turn it on the stove. So brown this, drain the fat, put it in the bowl, and then we'll get started. All right, well, I got the sausage browning. I've got a splatter screen on it. If you don't have a splatter screen, I would really recommend it. It catches all the grease and butter and oil that would fly out of a pan normally without actually blocking any of the steam. So you're not going to cook your food faster than you want to. Good investment is like $15 from Uwajimaya. I would definitely get one. So first thing we're going to do, take this bread, we're going to cut it into squares. So when we were growing up, we were a bit poor for a couple years, just some trying times. So I had 3 brothers, so 4 of us, including myself, and always hungry, always growing. And when we would eat, everything would have to be cut into literally perfect 4 servings or 4 squares. Like a block of ice cream, we would literally cut it with the ruler to make sure that everyone got the same amount. And that wasn't really to make sure that we got more than anyone, but it was to make sure that no one got more than us. So if we were all going to not get very much, we wanted to make sure of it. And this casserole is definitely no different. Since we only got it a few times a year, I don't even think we enjoyed it because we would just be eating so fast to get leftovers before they were gone. So luckily, I don't have to do that anymore, but I still kind of eat like that out of habit. So cut up the bread, put it in the bowl, take all your eggs, put them in the bowl. We're just going to put everything in this bowl except the cheese. That's going to go on the top in the pan. And once the sausage is done cooking, I'll add that to the bowl as well. All right, eggs are in the pan. We're going to add a little bit of salt. I'm using this sea salt. I just got it from Costco. A little bit bigger grains of salt, but it's going to break down when it's cooking. You want about a 1/2 teaspoon of salt in there. You're going to do about, I just eyeball the stuff because I've never gone, wow, that was too much pepper. So do about a 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon of pepper. Just a couple dashes of paprika. 1/2 teaspoon of mustard. Don't overdo this because you don't want mustard eggs. And then as much sage as you want. I like a lot of sage, so we're just going to go ham sandwich. Okay, so once the sausage is done, we're going to mix all that in with our hands. Okie smoky. So sausage is done. Make sure it's pretty thoroughly cooked. You may think it might get overcooked in the oven because it's cooking again in there, but cooking it in the pan first is going to get a lot of that grease out. And don't really want too much grease on top of a casserole. So you might want to wait until the sausage is cooled a little bit or you will burn your hands. I've done it. Never again. So make sure your little mitts are clean and just mix this up. Should probably get a little bit bigger bowl than I did, but It's the biggest bowl I have right now. I like to use this maple sausage over regular sausage because it still has the regular sausage taste, but if you've ever had a McGriddle from McDonald's, it has a little bit of that flavor with the maple syrup, and if you haven't had that, what's your problem, bro? Okay, now, got a nice Louis Vuitton pan, or crate and barrel, same thing. We need to grease it. I don't have any Pam or Spam. That's no problem, governor. Take a napkin, get some coconut oil on it, a little bit more. And all you're going to do is just use that napkin to rub the coconut oil around the pan. If you don't, you're going to be cleaning egg off of your pan for a couple of months. So, let's get a little more oil. Now, take le mixtura, pour it in the pan. Spread it around a little bit. And once that's spread around, you're going to take your cheese and you're going to spread it as evenly as you can over the top. If you want to use more cheese than 3/4 of a cup, that's fine. I'm using 1 cup myself. If you like a lot of cheese, use a lot of cheese. So once this is all spread around, what you're going to do is you're going to actually leave this in your fridge overnight. So if you're having a big event in the morning, sometime, somewhere, and you know you don't want to wake up early to cook, just prepare all this the night before, stick it in the fridge with some foil on it, and then in the morning just pop it in the oven for about 45 minutes. So I'm going to pop this in the oven and make it tomorrow. Yawn, hey, it's the morning and I'm still dressed in the same outfit. So, oven is preheated, 350, put it in for about 45 minutes to an hour, or you could shiv the center with a knife until it comes out clean and then take it out. You're supposed to wait about 5 to 7 minutes after it's out before you eat it, but you might not be able to. So, put it in. Don't cover it, just put it in like that. And at about 45 minutes, shiv it, see if it comes out clean. If it does, take it out. All right, well that finished baking about 5 minutes ago. I just left it in the oven to keep it a little bit warm. Let's take it out and serve it up. Okay, so my mom would usually make this with a bowl of fruit of some kind, caramel pecan rolls. I don't really like caramel pecan rolls. Don't tell me, Mom. I just don't like nuts. So you can make it with something like that if you want, but with the bread in here and the eggs and the cheese, I think it's a perfectly fine dish all by itself for breakfast. Maybe some fruit or something, but definitely don't need hash browns or anything. I think it just takes away from the dish itself. So when I eat it, I like to have it with Tapatio hot sauce. We've also been eating this for about 20 years. So, just lather up your egg casserole with some Tapatio. Blap, 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 blap. So I know the ingredients are real simple, and you probably think you know what it tastes like based on what they are, but I just really can't explain how awesome this dish is. So, let's cut it up, take a bite. Yoink. Just like Mom used to make. Well, thanks for watching LBEB Kitchen. I'm me. Tune in next time.